What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris Style
Ammo.
Podcast, episode 148, Takeover Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good night, whatever you're at work, at home, whatever you're doing. We appreciate y'all tuning into the show tonight. Even you guys on the East Coast, if you're
Yeah.
tuning in, appreciate you. Know it's late, but hey, man, appreciate y'all rocking in. And for all y'all listening on the playback, we appreciate y'all too.
Mhm.
We got a lot of things to discuss. We got some college basketball stuff, some NFL stuff, and some NBA stuff, and some boxing too. So we got a full slate of topics today. But before I get into that, Maul, what is going on?
Man, not much, man. Feeling good, man. Minus, watching my Lakers lose to the Hornets, man. Pretty not off to a great start coming off the All-Star weekend, but I'm not really tripping, man. Luca had a bad game. I know it's gonna take us some time to get going, but overall, man, I'm feeling good, man. So how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. Mizzou Tigers beat a very good Alabama team tonight, and
Yeah, they look really good.
they look really good today, and they're gonna make some noise in the tournament, man. You know what I'm saying? So they just gotta keep it going, gotta keep it pushing, man. So,
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
but
Should
outside
be
of that,
exciting.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So, all right, man. Let's get into these topics, man. Let's talk about this March Madness expansion to 76 team mess. Uh, apparently, the president of the NCAA president, Charlie Baker, is bullish on the prospect of the NCAA basketball tournaments expanding to 72 or 76 teams in the near future. Baker said that he has been having productive conversations with television partners and members of the NCAA basketball committees on expanding from the current 68 team bracket. He said the NCAA will have to make a decision to move forward by the end of this year's March Madness in order to implement the expanded field for the 2026 tournament. He said the tournament is unlikely to grow any bigger than 76 because of the limited window they have to schedule games between the time when the conference championships and the coverage of the Masters begin. I'm bullish on the conversation we had about going to 72 to 76. I think the committee are willing to consider that, but I don't think it's going to be anything beyond that. Baker said after speaking about the future of the NCAA at conference hosted by Sports Business Journal. Ma, what do you think of this?
Look, man, I know this has been a conversation. It's been a topic. What I mean, that's been kind of the big thing in college sports is just expansion, expansion, expansion. Whether it's with conferences, taking other teams, or obviously we had the whole situation with the college football playoff, and they're still not happy about that. We're already talking about maybe expanding that after the first year of the playoff that we got. And then it was only a matter of time before basketball started getting into the whole gist of the expansion. So I think 76 is probably going to be the expansion number that we get to. Do I think it's a necessity? No, I don't think it's really a necessity. I think 64 teams is a lot. I remember when they expanded that, when they added the Tuesday slot, where it's kind of like the play-in. Games going into the tournament to finally get the spot for the last four in type of situation. I remember when they added that, people had a little bit of worries about that, but I think that ended up being a smart idea. You know what I mean? Getting March Madness started a little bit early. But with the expansion team, maybe that turns into a whole weekend before type of thing. Maybe they just move up conference play, maybe like a week, and then
Mhm.
the week after that, obviously, maybe it'd be so you're probably adding like another 12 teams. So you assume that would probably be a weekend of them just getting into the group of 64. So that could probably be like a little mini tournament right there in itself. And then just getting into the thing, the main show the following week. So I know they'll make it work. I know probably like the purists probably don't like this kind of expansion, but we all know it's all tied into money at the end of the day, especially with NIL deals and stuff like that. Man, they need to find more new resources of money and stuff like that. So am I surprised? No. Is it something that I have been craving for? I'm not going to say that either, but at the end of the day, it's more basketball. I love watching basketball, and with the product that I think it's going to get better with the NIL, because I do believe like more of these players are going to stay in college just a little bit longer instead of us having a whole bunch of one and dones. I think you'll see a little bit more of like sophomores and juniors being staying in. So I think it'll make the product a little bit better. So it like right now it may seem like it's not something that's a necessity, but it could be a good thing at the end of the day.
I don't like it, man. You just opening the door for mediocre and bad teams to get in the tournament. Like,
there's already mediocre and bad teams already, but not to cut you off, I do apologize about that. But at the end of the day, it's more so of like I get it. Like as I said, it's not something that is important to do, but I think within college basketball, I think it's a little bit easier to see upsets happening. We see it all the time with March Madness. That's why it's called March Madness. We see a lot of small time programs, beat upset some of these top tier programs, and with all these NIL deals and stuff like that, I think it's just going to make the product, across the board a little bit more leveled. You know what I'm saying? We kind of saw that with college football already this year with NIL deals. You know what I mean? Seeing like the Boise States and all that. And look at Arizona State. They performed really well against Texas. Some of us believe they probably should have won that game. So minus Ohio State having that amazing team, but I think it won't be that bad.
Like you said, this is a money grab, man. They just trying to get some more money, and they need more money. I get it, the NILs or whatever, but the NCAA got plenty of money to hand out to these people. They don't need no more. They don't need no more money. But whatever, this is gonna happen. We ain't got. Ain't no sense of even crying about it. It's gonna happen. They're gonna make it happen. They're gonna have 76 teams, just like in college football.
It's gonna be 16.
It's gonna be 16. By the time it's over, it's gonna be like 25 teams, and by 2030. So.
Now, I wouldn't say that. I think it will stop at 16. I think by the time the national championship football game comes out here, I think we'll be at 16. I think that'll be the year it'll be 16.
Yeah, well, they want more because they want more money. That's all it is.
Are you going to complain when we get more college football games? No, you're not. So stop. Stop with this fake outrage, bro. He gonna be all right. He gonna be all right, bro.
I don't see no bad team. It's like NFL don't need a 7th wild card team.
No, but you never know, man. Some team might surprise you. You know what I'm saying? Like I think in basketball it's a little bit easier, especially when it's like a one and done situation. Even football, like it's one and done situation. Those one and like if it's like an NBA series or in a hockey series, most of the time like the better team is going to win. But in a one game send off, like you just never know, man. Like seen it before.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's talk a little music. Rolling Stones put out a greatest R&B songs of the 21st century.
I haven't seen this.
It's 100 songs, but I'm gonna give you the top 20. So number 20, Michael Jackson, "You Rock My World."
Okay.
Number 19 is SZA, "Snooze." Number 18, Solange, "Cranes in the Sky." Number 17, Tony Braxton, "He Wasn't Man Enough." 16, Maxwell, "Pretty Wings." Aaliyah, "Rock the Boat." Beyonce, "Love on Top." Daniel Caesar and Her, "Best Part." Pharrell Williams featuring Jay-Z, "Frontin'." Number 11, Miguel, "Adorn." Number 10, they got Brandy, "Full Moon." Number 9, Erykah Badu, "Bag Lady." Number 8, John Legend, "Ordinary People." Number 7, Alicia Keys, "Fallen." Number 6, Frank Ocean, "Thinking About You." Number 5, Mariah Carey, "We Belong Together." Number 4, Mary J. Blige, "Be Without You." Number 3, Beyonce, "Dangerously in Love." Number 2, D'Angelo, "How Does It Feel?" And number 1, Usher, "Confessions Part 2." How do you feel about this list, sir?
I hate it. I'm not. Why is Pharrell in this shit? That's not even an R&B song. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dog? What are we doing? That's not an
R&B song. He is singing.
Come on, man. That's not top 20, bro. Stop. Rock the Boat with Aaliyah is not even like her best song. Where's One in a Million? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? This list is terrible. And where the fuck is the Isley Brothers For the Love? Like, that's like a top 10 song, R&B song. And I'm sorry, I hate to say this again. Where the fuck is R. Kelly at? Excuse my language. I understand, my man, what he did is terrible.
You know Rolling Stone.
Man, like, we gotta stop this, bro. I know what he did is terrible, and I understand why people don't want to listen to his music, but we can't deny that what's been put out in this world. You cannot sit here and tell me that there shouldn't be at least 1 to 2 R. Kelly songs that are in the top 10. Like, we are grown adults. We can learn how to separate art from the real person. Like, come on. Usher's Confessions being number 1, I'm not mad at that because that is a very, very amazing song. So I'm not mad at that being number 1. Could I replace it with someone else? Yes. Where is Chris Brown? That's another question I have. Where is Chris Brown? Miguel Adorn, I love that song. That is probably definitely one of his better songs. I would love to have that a little bit higher. I didn't hear no Carl Thomas. I wish, like, you know, like, where like, this list pisses me off, dog. I'm not going front. And it's like, bro, Crazy in Love with Beyonce is not top 5. Let's stop the cat. I like Beyonce. I really do. But I don't really think she has a top 5 R&B song. I don't really think she does.
You knew they was going to put that song. That song got played out.
I know. Like, where's Tevin Campbell? Tevin Campbell has one of the most iconic songs that everybody knows the lyrics to. Like, that's not top 20? What?
Al Green.
You got Al Green. I ain't hear no Al Green. I ain't hear no Barry White. I ain't hear no Teddy Pendergrass. What are we talking about? Like, no, Frankie Beverly and Mays. Like, yeah. Like they have Whitney Houston on there. No, I didn't even. Did they have a Jerry Blige song on there?
Yeah, she was number 4 and Be Without You.
Okay, no TLC.
Because it's for what would be the 21st century? The early 2000s.
Oh, so this is 21st century. Oh, okay. So this is 2000 and up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my mistake. So I get it. You're not gonna have Teddy Pendergrass's up.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that all right. So this is 2000 and up. Then you could probably still put R. Kelly in that because you got Chocolate Factory in that situation. Chocolate Factory was in the 2000s. If that's the case, then you got to put at least a couple Frank Ocean songs up in there.
I knew thinking about you was going to be on the list because everybody swears by that song.
Think About You is really good, but I'm like, you could have like a couple more on there if you really wanted to. I said Chris Brown should be on that list. Hell, you probably even do like a B2K on there and just the impactful of how big that group was. You know what I'm saying? So I low key. Where Pretty Ricky at? Where's Pretty Ricky at?
Bump.
Where's Pretty Ricky at?
I don't know.
Pretty Ricky needs to be at least top 50, bro. Pretty Ricky was cold, bro. I don't hear anybody say
112 was 86.
Yeah, like we're 112 ain't top 20, dog.
This 112 is at 86 for Peaches and Cream.
I'm not mad at the Daniel Caesar and Her. I'm not mad. That was a really good song. I'm not mad at Daniel Caesar and Her. Snow Allegra's I Want You Around should be top 20. Snow Allegra's I Want
Drake,
You Around.
Marvin Room was 82.
That should be. Feel No Way should be top 50, bro. Where's the Weeknd song? There's no Weeknd on top 20?
India Reese, Brown Skin is 79.
Like
Pretty Ricky is 78 with Hot Line.
Hey, where AJ number at?
Cisco 76 with Incomplete.
They had Thong Song. They have the Thong Song on there.
Probably it's probably top.
Thank God. 50. Thank God.
T-Pain Buy You Drink is 74.
That was a good song. What about
Bryce,
Dream? They got Dream falsetto on there.
it's somewhere around. Bryson Tiller Exchange is 73.
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm surprised Amy Winehouse ain't higher.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look. Jay Holiday Bed is 69. Of course, it's
That was
69.
a good song. I remember that song. Let me put you to bed.
Sierra's Goodies is 68.
Goodies. Where Bobby Valentino at?
He was like in the 80s with Slow
That's
Down.
crazy. You trying to tell me Goodies is better
Might
than
be, might
Bobby
be in the
Valentino?
night. He might have been in the 90s.
You trying to tell me Goodies is better than a Bobby Valentino song? Y'all
I'm
bugging.
sorry. Joe's I Want to Know should be higher.
That's where is that at?
It's at 66.
That is that. Oh, yo, that is insane, my boy.
That should be
I
higher.
want to know by Joe. Like, bro,
should be
like,
higher.
who is making these lists? 20-year-olds?
Probably.
That is crazy.
Money Long Hours and Hours is 63. Let's see. Let me get to the top 40.
That is insane. Yeah, Riri. Yeah, where Rihanna at? That's crazy. Yeah, no Rihanna.
Yeah,
Where B5 at? Where my guys B5 at? Don't hate on B5, bro. B5 was fire. That one song they had was fire. Mario Braid My Hair. Mario's Braid My Hair. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I know everybody.
Okay, so
that's
they had
watching it right now know Braid My Hair word for word.
Okay, 40 was Music Soul Child's Love.
That should be hard. Music Soul Child so far. No Jaheim. Where Jaheim at? Jagged Edge. Like where Jagged Edge at?
Estelle's American Boy was 38.
I like American Boy. American Boy was fire. That was
Snow Allegra, I Want You Around is 37.
They ain't disrespect that too bad. Okay.
And Anthony Hamilton, The Point of All is 36.
Okay.
I think Charlene should be higher. Anyway, 35. Carl Thomas, I Wish is at 35.
That should be hard. That is my bop, man. I love that song. Marcus Houston's Naked. Where that at? That's right. Trigger. Nah, Trey Songz got a lot of baggage to him, but he got some hits though.
Yeah, heavy nasty man in there right now.
Yeah, where Marcus Houston at?
Yeah, no.
No Omarion?
Why is this freezing up on me? Come on, man. Don't play. It's freezing up. Whatever.
Andre 3000's Prototype, is that R&B?
Yeah, it was like in the what's your names? In like the 60s. Genuine Differences is 34.
No Bruno Mars?
Fantasia, When I See You is 33. Anne Marie is with One Thing is 32.
Okay.
Rihanna Needed Me is 31. Come on. But you know who makes these lists, man. Some 22-year-old kid.
Nah, yeah, like I get it. Like I shouldn't be this upset over a Rolling Stones list because we know how egregious some of these people are. But this is supposed to be a critically acclaimed music magazine blog.
Chris Brown, excuse me, miss, is 28. Silk Sonic, Leave the Door Open is 29. The Dream Falsetto is 30. Where you at? Beyonce got 3 songs. Beyonce 27, 1+1. Jasmine Sullivan, Pick Up Your Feelings is 26. Where's it at? Usher, You Don't Have to Call is 25. Alicia Keys, You Don't Know My Name is 24. Janet Jackson, All For You is 23.
Man, I was in the 2000s. Yeah, it was in 2000.
Sir John Redcorn is 20. What is it? 22.
Impressive. That song was amazing.
And Destiny's Child, Cater to You is 21.
Well, look, man. Yo, congratulations everybody that made the list.
I'm surprised Tyrese ain't on it. Where Tyrese at?
Look, man, there's a lot of holes in this list, but I'm not gonna get too upset. At the end of the day, I don't agree with it. I would maybe one day I might do my own, but yeah, it is what it is, man. But you expect more from a critically acclaimed music blog and magazine, but it is what it is, man. With Rolling Stone and Billboard
I don't expect
list.
nothing from these people.
Yeah, no, it's egregious.
These people don't know. They don't know shit.
Nah.
Like Floyd Mayweather's uncle used to say, "You don't know shit about boxing. You don't know shit about music." All right, man. Speaking of boxing, we got a big fight this weekend.
Yep.
Beterbiev-Bivol Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
We got a nice little undercard. Pull this undercard up. Share screen. Bam and bam. Now, we did get news that Floyd Schofield will not be fighting Shakur Stevenson. Supposedly he got sick. So they tried to blame Shakur Stevenson, say that his masseuse rubbed something on Schofield, but I ain't buying that. And Stevenson kind of predicted this was going to happen, that he was going to end up pulling out the fight. So I guess they're trying to look for a replacement. But
they found a replacement. I forgot who it is. It's like some white dude. And I forgot his name. Let's see if I can find it.
But you got see, I don't like this one. Let me find it better. What's his name?
Yeah, he's fighting undefeated Josh Padley on a 3-day notice. So
who?
His name is Josh Padley, and he's undefeated. That's all I know.
Alrighty.
So let's see.
There we go. This is better, I think. I got those two fights. I want the full card, man. There it is. That's so you got Joshua, what's that say? Butisi versus Callum Smith. You got Zhang versus Cabelli, whatever his name is, Virgil Ortiz versus Mazurov, Caleb Adams versus these names, what I tell you, and then Daniel Dubois versus Joshua Parker or Joseph Parker, and then Shakur versus whoever he's going to be fighting, and then Bill and Beterbiev. How you feeling about the card? What you looking for? What other fights are you looking forward to?
Well, I was really looking forward to the Shakur Stevenson Floyd Schofield fight, but obviously we're not getting that. I think that's a really bad look for Floyd. I think it really is. You know what I mean? Like, I think he kind of like stunts his growth a little bit as far as like progressing and getting bigger fights. Obviously, I think the Virgil Ortiz and Israel fight is going to be really good. I think that's going to be a really, really good fight. Zhang, you know, that's always going to be a heavy hitting fight, with him. You know what I mean? That's definitely going to be an exciting fight. But obviously, the Beterbiev-Bivol fight, I think, is going to be really good. I'm very curious to see how this fight goes compared to last time. It seemed like Beterbiev was in control a little bit early in the fight, but it seemed like Bivol was able to, find his range, and it seemed like he was tagging Beterbiev a little bit easier, and it seemed like he was able to control the fight a little bit better. So I'm gonna be curious to see how he kind of starts out with this fight. It should be really. It's always the styles, man, between Beterbiev and Bivol, man. We all know Beterbiev is the more heavy hitting guy, and Bivol got some power too. But he's more of the boxer. And it's just going to be a very interesting fight, especially coming off the first one. So I expect nothing but fireworks in this one. I think we're going to get more fireworks than we saw in the first one. I think the first one was kind of more of like just kind of like they were kind of like weighing each other out a little bit. It started off kind of slow and then kind of picked up. I think we might get action right from the get because I think these guys are going to be kind of more comfortable in what they're facing in front of each other. So this is an amazing card. Even with the whole Schofield thing, and I know we don't know who that gentleman is that Shakur is, but I think with Shakur Stevenson, the main thing is we need to see a performance anyway. It doesn't matter who he is. He could be fighting me or you. At the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson needs to put on a show. He needs to knock homie out. Especially with this guy. I don't care if he's undefeated. I don't care if he's 100-0 and beat everybody. Like, he needs to put on a show because Shakur Stevenson's kind of like legacy is on the line right now in the sense of just who we believe he is. And if he can get a big fight with a Tank Davis and all that, because we expect him to be on the same tier as a Gervonta, you know what I mean? Because he has the talent, you know what I mean? He could even potentially be better than Tank Davis, you know what I mean? But he hasn't really shown it this last year and a half. So this is the most important fight of his career to me, in my eyes. So I think that might be consensus. I don't know how you personally feel, but overall with this card, man, it's going to be really exciting, man, from the start, man. It's an early start, so I think it starts at like 8 in the morning on the West Coast. So so get up early. But hey, man, shout out to the ultimate Hall of Famer of all Hall of Famers, man, the Turk, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, I be trying to tell y'all thought I was crazy when he got inducted and everybody was mad. But yo, this fight pay-per-view is only $25. So like support. Like, I know a lot of y'all cats be like y'all like to do the little box on the box type shit, but yo, man, support this, man. You know, he's really trying to give us a top tier fight at a low cost. You know what I mean? Most cards like this, man, if this is like, you know, PBC or anybody else, man, this is an easy $100 pay-per-view that they're gonna be charging. So, but for $25, man, this is a must buy, man. For real. If you're not doing anything on a Saturday, purchase this, man. Support boxing. Boxing needs us to really start supporting this, man. That's one of the main reasons why, you know, Top Rank's going to be off of ESPN, and we don't know what that whole situation is about. I heard rumors that they could possibly maybe go back to HBO. I think that would be pretty dope because I miss HBO boxing. That was like top tier for me. And get Letterman.
That'd be the best time for them to go to HBO with Max.
Yeah, get Letterman, get Max Kellerman back, bring the whole gang back. Those guys will just bring back the essence of what boxing is, and I really miss those guys talking about boxing, man. Those are some of the greatest voices of all time when it comes to boxing, especially Max Kellerman, bro. We miss you, bro. Please come back. So, but yeah, man, I'm excited for this, man. I can't wait. I'm definitely gonna be watching this.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited to see how Zhang looks. You know, is his knockout streak gonna keep going? You know, is he gonna knock this dude out? I'm pretty for sure. I've seen Caleb Smith fight before. He's pretty good, but I'm interested to see his opponent, the Joshua dude.
Yeah.
We'll see what he's all about. Virgil Ortiz, Israel Mazumov is going to be probably the fight of the night. If not,
it is. That's going to be a really good one. Yeah.
Of course, outside of Bivol and, you know, Beterbiev. But I think that's going to be the fight of the night. But, yeah, it's going to be crazy. But Daniel Dubois and Joshua Parker could be a good fight, too. Somebody's getting knocked out. I'm letting you know that right now. Somebody get knocked out in that fight.
Yeah, that's the fight. That's the winner will fight Usyk, I believe, right?
So, and of course, I hope Dubois wins because I think he deserves it. I think he showed he's been amazing. Yeah, he beat Joshua like handily, he did. And he gave Usyk. You could argue that he kind of got robbed from Usyk the first time they fought. So
yeah, that was he knocked him. Yeah. That was when he hit him in the gut, right? Yeah, that was that fight, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and they tried to say it was a low blow or whatever. But yeah, man, it should be a good night. And you know, who you got winning all these fights?
So for the first one, I haven't seen Joshua fight. And I agree with you. I think Caleb Smith is really good. So I don't know who's going to win that one. I'll just say Caleb Smith for now, but I choose to reserve my right to change my opinion after the first 2 rounds of that fight, if it gets to the first 2 rounds. Next one, I got Zhang. I think Zhang is just too powerful. I think we're setting up for the big clash of, you know, the Great Wall versus the African king. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
no, he ducked him.
yeah, he might, but hey, sooner or later, yo, the Hall of Famer of all Hall of Famers, the Turk. Hey, couple gold bricks will change your mind, baby. That's all I'm saying. Couple gold bricks might change your mind. Virgil Ortiz versus Israel, man, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be really amazing. I'm gonna go with Virgil, though. I'm gonna go with Virgil. I think Virgil's gonna win this. I wouldn't be surprised at either one. I think this is a true 50-50 fight. Obviously, we saw the last time we saw Israel was against Terrence Crawford, and he gave him a run for his money. That was a really good fight. Terrence Crawford was able to, win that down the stretch for sure. So I know a lot of people been giving Terrence Crawford a lot of shit, but Israel's he's a tough motherfucker, man. He's a tough dude, man. Really great fighter.
Awkward fighters, man.
Yeah.
Fighters.
Yeah, like if you ain't gonna get up early for the first two, make sure you're up for this Virgil Ortiz. I think this one's supposed to start, I think like 11 our time or something like that. So yeah, make sure you're up by then. You know what I mean? Next up, I'm gonna go with Carlos. I'm gonna go to Carlos. I think Carlos is gonna win that fight. Next, Shakur. This is it, baby. Go out with a bang, my boy. This is the last time. You should, bro. Like I'm loving what I'm seeing as far as the intensity. Like Shakur looked like he ready, but no, this is like every time. Like I want to see him come out swinging. I'm going with Shakur. That's still my guy. I'm still rooting for you, my brother. But I need you to put on the show, bro. I need you to put on the show. Next up, Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Another great fight. Joseph Parker is nothing to sneeze at, but I'm going with Daniel Dubois. I think we're gonna get that. I think we're gonna get that Usyk fight. To unify the belts. So I think we're gonna get that later this year. And then the main event, Beterbiev versus Bivol, man. Woo! I'm gonna go with Bivol, man. I think Bivol's gonna win this one, man. I think he got a lot of confidence in that. He took a lot of great shots from Beterbiev too, man. He that boy got a chin, bro. Bivol got a chin. They both got a chin. I just think Bivol's gonna outbox him, man. I really think he's really comfortable with what he see. I think he has a lot of confidence, especially the way he ended that fight the first time. So I'm gonna go with Bivol. I think we're gonna end up getting a trilogy with this. I could definitely see us getting a trilogy. So I'm gonna go with Bivol.
Yeah, man. I pretty much agree with you, Caleb Smith. I haven't seen the Joshua guy much, so I'm gonna go with Caleb Smith because I'm more familiar with his work. But shout out to Joshua if he goes in there and beats him. Hey man, you can make a fan. You can make a fan out of me.
Yeah, my bad.
You can make a fan out of me. You make quick work out of dude. Then hey, my bad, dog. Zhang, I'm with you. I think the knockout streak comes again. I think he knocks dude out. Virgil Ortiz. This is a big fight for. Israel Mazarov. He of course, he's solidified in this division at 154. But Virgil Ortiz, you could definitely make a name for yourself, and possibly after the Canelo fight with Bud Crawford, Bud could possibly fight you next.
100%.
If you come in there and beat him, Terrence Crawford might not. He probably can't duck you. Now, the interesting thing would be, will Terrence Crawford want to come back down to 154 after going up to 168?
We could get a Bud fight. I think a Bud, not a Bud fight, but a Boots fight. I think a Boots is a real possibility.
Yeah, he's got his fight. I just saw his face off with Stannis. It was pretty funny. But yeah, this is a big fight for Virgil Ortiz. If he can't, and if he doesn't get Terrence Crawford, he's definitely going to get the Fedora fight. He's definitely going to get that fight. If he beats Israel, he's definitely fighting.
I would love the Boots fight. I really want to see that Boots fight. I
do too. I do too. But
I know what you mean. I agree with you though. I agree with you. I know how it goes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think if Boots beats Stannis, I think he fights Brian Norman next to unify. So
yeah, I know he's got to take his steps. I know Boots has to take his steps, but I really want to see that Virgil Ortiz Boots fight. That would be an amazing fight.
I think it'd be a great fight. And I personally think Boots will be better at 154 anyway.
Yeah, it'll bring out all the racism out. I love that. Comes to boxing. It brings out all the racism.
I'm with you with Carlos Adams. I think I've seen him fight before. He's pretty good. He's got pretty good power too. So I'm gonna roll with him. But I've seen this Shazier dude. He's actually pretty good. I've seen
I haven't seen too much of him, so I
no,
wasn't.
he's pretty good. I've seen him on one of those DAZN undercards, and dude is actually nice.
Okay,
So this is
okay,
gonna be a good fight. This ain't
for
gonna be
sure.
no walk in the park. But I'm gonna go with Carlos Adams because I've seen he's been more battle tested. But this dude
Gotcha.
right here, he's actually pretty nice. I'm with you with Shakur Stevens, man. Just put on the show, dog. I don't care who's across from me. Put on the show.
Hmm.
Show people why you deserve Tank,
Yeah.
and apply pressure on Tank.
Hmm.
Make him shut up because he's clowning you right now because you haven't put on no good performances. Throw your hands.
See if you don't do.
The fight that you had against what's that? Terrell Joshua. That was your last great fight
Yeah.
that you had. The last great performance you had. We need that. We need that Shakur Stevens.
Hmm.
Let your hands go, bro. All that defense and all that stuff, that's fine, but let your hands go
Yeah.
and just beat dude up.
Mhm.
You're better than him.
Yeah.
So go in there and come in there with that confidence. I don't want to see you in there arguing with your grandfather when he's telling you to throw your hands, brother.
Yo, facts,
I
facts, bro.
don't want to see that. I don't want to see you making excuse. No, you're the better fighter. Go in there and put on a show. This is what I want. This night, I want the people to be like, "Hey, Shakur Stevenson, bro, dude is ready. This is the best version of Shakur Stevenson. This dude can beat Tank." That's
I think we all want that, man. We all want that as a whole. I think that's why the whole world's so disappointed because we all want that for him.
so Shakur. Show up, show out, put on the show, man. Steal the show. Be the show. We want.
Be the star
You
of the
should
night.
be the star of the night.
Hmm.
Now, Daniel Dubois, this is your opportunity, player. Joshua Parker ain't no walk in the park. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? But this is your night, bro. You are ascending. You know what I'm saying? You put on some string of good fights. And you knocked out and you beat the hell out of Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
And then nobody gave you a chance to win that fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was doing all the antics and acting like you was pissing him off and all that stuff. And he got in the ring and got beat the hell up. Do it again. So you can get that Usyk fight. Because that's the fight we want to see. You versus Usyk in part 2. Because I think that'll be fireworks. And then I'm with you, man. You know, I'm a Bivol fan. Ever since he fought, I've seen Bivol fight before he fought Canelo. So I already knew what Bivol was all about. That's why when he fought Canelo, I was like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know if this was the move for Canelo. I seen this dude fight. Dude is nice. And what happened? Canelo got his ass whooped.
Yeah, all 12. All 12.
All 12
All
rounds.
12.
Because I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is the move, man. He should have picked somebody else. But
Oh, me.
and I personally thought Bivol won the last fight. But hey, it is what it is.
I agree with you.
Just go in there to handle business, Bivol. No disrespect to Beterbiev. I think he looked old. I think he's looked long into. I think if this fight happened 5 years ago, this would be I think Beterbiev would be way more higher as far as winning this fight because when he was younger, he was a knockout artist. But now I think he's older. He's what, 38, 39. Not to say that guys can't flourish at that age, but I'm just saying. I think he's showing his age a little bit more. Bibble's the younger guy. I think Bibble's the better boxer. So go in there and handle business so we can get Bibble versus David Ortiz.
Sure.
All right, man. Let's do our BetUs Sure Fire Picks, man.
Let's do it. All right. Well, basketball is back up and running. You know what I mean? Started off tonight with a, anyways. Thursday. So tomorrow, I got the Celtics -7 over the 76ers. Obviously, the 76ers have not been performing really well. Joel Embiid saying that he needs another knee surgery. Paul George looking like he 2 steps away from retirement. Celtics should blow out the 76ers. I feel bad for my boy Maxey, but it's going to be a long night tomorrow. Then I got the Grizzlies -2.5 over the Pacers. I think John Morant and this team, they're number 2 seed in the West. I think they've been playing really well, so they should be good. And then I got the Suns. I got the struggling Suns -2 over the Spurs. News today came out where Victor Wembanyama is doubtful to play tomorrow because of an illness. So, and then on top of that, you got Kevin Durant going back to the University of Texas, playing in front of his old college home crowd. So I think he's gonna be motivated for that. Put on a show. So I got the Suns winning, and I'll take the points with that.
For sure. I'm with you with Boston. Give me that -7. I think they're gonna handle business. I like the Grizzlies -2.5 over the Pacers. I don't know about that one. That's a little bit too high for my blood. Give me Orlando -1.5 over the Hawks. Yeah, I was looking at the Knicks 12.5.
I don't trust the Knicks. I looked at that like, nope.
No, it's too high. Yeah, give me the Orlando Magic 1.5 over the Hawks, and give me the Denver Nuggets -16 over the Hornets.
Yeah, I'll definitely take that too.
Yeah, I roll with that. If you go to our social media platforms, you'll see the link for the BetUs website. Click on it. First time users only. Click on it. Sign up. Put in a promo code. Join 125. You get 125% sign-in bonus, plus 10% gambler's insurance because they got other things on the website that you could do. That means you get 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits, minimum $100 up to $5,000. That means if you bet on your first 3 deposits $100 and you lose, you keep your money. So you can win some money, or you can on your first 3 deposits. If you lose, you don't lose any money. So go sign up to BetUs and go over there and tell them Cris Style Mal sent you. That is our BetUs Sure Fire Picks. All right, man. We had this discussion earlier today, so figure we bring it up today. What would be a crazy Luka type trade in the NFL?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it. I thought it would be an interesting question. Like, what could be a legitimate trade that would surprise everybody, that would happen at the dark of night that no one would expect? And, after me and you kind of talked a little bit, I think me and you kind of both came to the consensus that the Joe Burrow, I think with the whole situation going on in Cincinnati, I think with the ownership and, we know how cheap they can be, up and down. We got this whole situation with T. Higgins where they are franchise tagging him, which I think both of us find that very weird in a sense because you got Joe Burrow's big contract. You're going to have to pay Jamar Chase at least $40 million, at least. Probably be a little bit higher, but at least $40 million. T. Higgins is probably going to command anywhere, to me personally, anywhere from 35 to 37 mil. Then you still got Henderson. You still got to worry about that defense has a lot of holes. Offensive line has issues. Look, man. Low key, I can see the Cincinnati Bengals doing some dumb shit where they be like, you know what, we're kind of broke right now. You know what I mean? We got to get off a little bit. Let's, there might be a young quarterback they might like. Let me like, you know what? Look, man. Hey, Raiders. Hey, what's up? Hey, Niners. What's up? Cowboys. What's up? Couple first rounders. Maybe two in a pick, 2 in a player. What you think? You know what I mean? So I think that's one. I don't know if you have any other ideas, but I think that's probably one of the bigger names I could honestly see that if something like this were to happen, Joe Burrow would be one. Maybe he even requests it, honestly.
I'm not mad at that. And I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? At work, I agree with you, Joe Burrow.
Injury history too. They can probably bring that up too.
That would be the name, you know what I'm saying, that I would be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? the big Luca trade,
Mhm.
type trade where they do some under table stuff, trade him to the Steelers or something stupid
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I got another name. And you may not think it's a surprise, but to me, it would be a surprise because they just signed this man to a contract. Dak Prescott.
It's a
I
possibility.
I think that if anybody's gonna do some under the table stuff, it'd be Jerry Jones.
That is true. That is true. That is fucking true. You don't know what you're gonna get. Him
You
and
don't know
Ursay, bro. Those are the two most wild card owners of all time.
day to day. You don't know what's coming from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And it would not surprise me if we woke up and Adam Schefter reports that the Dallas Cowboys have traded Dak Prescott to the New York Giants.
I know. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened this year. Low key. Low key. Low key. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll be like, damn. But
That would be my. That would be the Luca type trade. Even though you may not look at Dak Prescott like Luca, but he is a top 10 quarterback when he's healthy. We
mhm.
not gonna act like Dak ain't. You know what I'm saying? Numbers suggest it. You know what I'm saying? So he is a top 10 quarterback when healthy. So that would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the Joe Burrows will be over that, but I think Dak Prescott would be, especially if he went to the Giants. I know Stan probably wouldn't like that, but still.
Hey, it's better than anything you got like in the last 10 years, my brother.
Mm.
Don't talk about Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? Beggars can't be choosers, you know what I
You know
mean?
what I'm
And
saying? At least you putting up 30.
yeah, you know what I mean? You go, yeah, you know, Malik Neighbor is gonna be like probably the number one receiver in the league. You know what I mean? Especially fantasy wise. Like
Yeah.
if they got Dak Prescott, like look, let's be honest. If Malik Neighbors just gets a legit quarterback, Malik Neighbors could potentially be like Jamar Chase 2.0. I think he has a strong case to be like fantasy wise, be like numero uno as far as like receivers. You know what I'm saying? Um, but no, I'm not mad at that. I think that Dak Prescott is another name that I could see. As far as like any other names, like I know me and you kind of brought Kyler Murray up. I don't think that would be like kind of like the Lucas style trade, but I think that's another
Mhm.
name that should be watched out. I think even this year, there's been a lot of rumors with him potentially maybe the Jets looking into him, Steelers, and maybe some other franchises. Geno Smith, I think the Seahawks need to start looking elsewhere. Like I know Geno has, he's done some good for that franchise, but I think that's another name where I think I wouldn't be surprised if a team called them for Geno Smith that they would listen to, especially in a draft where they have like quarterbacks that they like. You know what I mean? I think that could be an issue, but I
What
don't
what
think Geno
what
Smith is not
non
going to command anything Luca style though.
what non quarterback would be the equal to the Luka trade?
Well, obviously Miles Garrett kind of blew that up. You know what I mean? Obviously that would be one name to look at. I think you got to look at Justin Jefferson
Of course.
because I think the situation with the Minnesota Vikings I think is very interesting, especially with the Sam Darnold situation and the JJ McCarthy situation. I think Justin Jefferson is going to be on the side of Sam Darnold. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you don't know what you're going to get with this young kid. Obviously, he has a lot of you know, there's a lot of people in that franchise that really believe in him. There's been a lot of scouts that believe in him. You know what I mean? Especially with the draft class that he's come from. A lot of those quarterbacks are succeeding in the NFL. So some people had him in high regard. I think that will be a name you got to watch out for, especially if it's a situation where if they decide not to go pick up Sam Darnold's contract and go with JJ McCarthy, and JJ McCarthy doesn't prove well, I wouldn't be surprised if you start hearing some noise with that. Obviously, CD Lamb, you know what I mean? You brought up that Prescott. CD Lamb could be another name, you know what I mean? I know he has a lot of frustrations. Obviously, I think he loves Dak Prescott, but let's say your theory becomes true with him getting traded, especially to the New York Giants. You don't think CD Lamb is you don't think CD Lamb gonna be like, yo, get me out of here. And Michael Parsons.
But
That's another name.
I will say this. Let's say Dak gets traded, even though obviously Dallas would be asking for that first round pick.
Yeah.
So they would get the third pick. So who if he's not out, if he's not going to Tennessee and Cleveland don't do something, try to do something stupid and try to drafting because Dion's not gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
But Shador definitely will be going to Dallas.
Oh yeah.
He would definitely be going to Dallas. If they get the third pick and trade with the Giants for Dak Prescott, yeah, they're getting Shador Sanders.
No, that's true. Like it will definitely be Shador.
Mm-hmm.
Now would Shador want to go there? I don't know, especially with that head coach situation. Because honestly, if Shador goes there, then that head coach is a lame duck. You might as well just chalk up the year because we all know Deion Sanders is going to be the head coach. Because that'll be another frustrating. But see, that would be another frustrating thing if you're a Cowboys fan. Is let's say the Cowboys do go that route, then why don't you just hire Deion from the get? You know what I mean? Like why even try to tickle that fanny of yours of, you know what I mean, talking to him.
You giving up that third pick, boy? What you talking about?
Yeah, that third got to go, my boy. Sorry,
you giving up that third, boy.
That third.
With that contract, you giving up that third. Sorry, Stan.
How much you think a Joe Burrow trade would go for? What do you think? What are you looking at? What do the parameters have to start out at with a Joe Burrow trade?
Now, let me ask you something. Would the price come down because of the injury history?
No. Sorry, nah. It's Joe Burrow, dog.
You'll take
that risk. You'll take I get it, but you have to also admit, like, if let's say you're a franchise that has a great O-line, you're gonna be like, look, we got a great O-line, we can protect him, we'll be okay. Joe Burrow's he takes your boy down. You don't think anybody's not gonna pay for that shit?
3 years ago, man. Get over it, man.
It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. Joe Burrow was putting up numbers, bro. He was putting up numbers even with a bad line.
I admit, if their defense was slightly better and they got to the playoffs, he'd be the MVP.
Oh yeah, they might have won. They might have won the Super Bowl this year, dog. Let's call it spade.
He would have been the MVP this year. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely.
They might have made it to the Super Bowl. They might have made it to the Super Bowl if they had a defense.
I don't know about all that, but you know what I'm saying. He would definitely.
They would have cooked y'all. They would have cooked y'all. They would have cooked y'all. Y'all defense couldn't stop that.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow would have sliced you, diced you, sauteed you, filleted you,
locked them up.
You know what I mean?
All we gotta do is get in Jamar Chase here. He get the crime.
Yeah, but then you got T right there. Chase Brown was having a really, another thing. Chase Brown was having a really good year until he hurt his ankle at the end of the year. I think that kind of messed him up. You know what I mean?
No, I look. It's more of a fan base. I can't stand in the players.
I know you stated that already. Yeah,
I love Joe Burrow outside of Patrick Mahomes. I've stated to you that I think he's the second best quarterback. I know everybody's bullish over Josh Allen, but give me Joe in clutch situations. Give me Joe.
Nah, I was like, look. If Joe Burrow's available, Raiders, get on the phone. Like,
I think Joe,
what you gotta do?
Play style wise, he may be a slightly more athletic, but play style wise, he's the closest thing to Tom Brady.
He just has a certain it factor about him. Mm-hmm. I know I talked my mess about Joe Burrow a little bit this year with just some of the losses that are just weird.
You and Shannon Sharp was like,
but I agree with Shannon though to a degree. You know what I mean? Like there are some situations where it's like you can't blame him. Like you know what I mean? But again, I do agree with Shannon. Like you know what I mean? Like there were plays down the stretch where you threw the bad interception. Yeah. What's up with the slow starts? Like it's not just on the head coach. It has to come down to the players too. Why aren't you guys always ready at the start of the season? Why do you guys consistently have slow starts that puts you on the back end?
Because it wasn't the defense that lost you the Patriots game.
Huh?
Because it wasn't the defense that lost you the Patriots game. It was your offense.
Nah, it wasn't. That was what? That was what, a 17? Was it 17 some type of game? Something like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get it with the Commanders game. What other game did they lose? The Steelers or whatever game or whatever. The Chiefs game that they had, you know what I mean? Like there's certain situations where the defense didn't show up, but look, at the end of the day, Joe Burrow is still Joe Burrow. Like I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb. Like I'm still taking Joe Burrow. Like you know what I mean? Like he's up there. Honestly, like if you were to put Joe Burrow on the Buffalo Bills,
they're not getting Burrows. Rams ain't going after Burrows, but they definitely go after Aaron Rodgers. That's the rumor.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Which I don't understand. I don't understand why you would go from old quarterback to
I
overbear.
like honestly, let me ask you, like, do you understand this Rams situation? Like, I don't get what their goal is with this. I understand they may be
Well,
trying to get younger, but or they must
one
like a quarterback that they like in that draft.
maybe or one the rumors about the contract situation is not good, or two the other rumor is they tied his wife.
So what? Who cares? Tune her out. Like tune her out. Like y'all can't tune out the wife. Like she ain't in those meeting rooms. Like
I
what that got to
agree.
do with
I
anything?
agree. You know what I'm saying? She ain't the reason they're like, nah.
Y'all can
But
tune out the media, but you can't turn out one wife. Like, come on, man.
I
Like,
was about to
what?
say, I agree with that. But
Well, man,
that's the rumor. That's the rumor that they tied to his wife.
if
She
that's the
got
case, bro, the Rams got bigger issues than I thought, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's insane to me. Like Matthew Stafford has been nothing but good. Like he plays
won
through a
them a
lot of
Super Bowl.
injuries. He won them a Super Bowl. Um, they could have potentially beat the Eagles. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That was a close game
That
going
they
down
was right there at the goal
right
line.
there. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, I don't understand. I don't understand the whole not keeping Cooper Cup. Like, maybe with the cap situation, maybe they're trying to get younger with that.
I
I could
think so.
understand that, but it's a piece that Matthew Stafford loves. So I don't know. I just don't get it. Like McVay is a hell of a coach, but this is some of the decision making is kind of weird to me for what they're trying to do this year. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, I get the Cooper Cup thing. His injury history. I
Yeah,
mean, he's really good, but I can understand that. Like, if you draft a Mika Bouquet or a Luther Burden to go with Puka Nakua, like now automatically that offense is back to being good. You know what I'm saying? And then you re-sign one of those guys that you're maybe a Demarcus Robinson comes back, what I'm saying, on a 1 year, 2 year deal. He knows the offense. He flourishes in this offense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, he
So
does. Yeah, he does.
so you bring him back to be the third receiver, and you're back to being fine. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like when Puka and Cooper was gone, we thought it was over for the Rams, and Demarcus Robinson and Tutu Atwell was balling. So um, if he brings back one of those receivers and maybe draft a rookie to go with Puka Nakua, I think the offense will be fine. Sean McVay can get the best out of any type of receiver. Yeah, he's shown it. So I'm not too much hung up on the Cooper Cup. I thought once they had him in trade talks, I knew he was going in the offseason. So I was just like, yeah, it is what it is. So all right, man. Maul's favorite segment, random news. It is now time for Maul's random news.
yes, sir. My favorite segment, Chris's favorite segment, all y'all's favorite segment. It's back, baby, for a new week. We got some random news coming for y'all. First up, Captain America's Brave New World has grossed over $204 million worldwide at the box office. Film has a budget of 180 million, so it's plus after the first weekend. What's your thoughts on that? And have you seen the movie yet? What's your thoughts on the movie? What's your thoughts on some of the reviews that you've heard?
I've heard a mixed bag. I've heard some people really like it. Some people, say what they said. They said it was okay. I want to check it out for myself. I might try to get it, next couple of days. Maybe I'll go check it out. But or maybe on my off days I'll go watch it. But what I'm saying, I like the series when he, saying the Captain America series that they had with him,
Mhm.
with Anthony Mackie being Captain America. I thought the series was good, so I was excited for this movie. I thought the trailers looked good, and
Mhm.
I'm one of them people. I want to see the movie for myself. You know what I'm
100%. Yeah.
saying? And me, I'm not a big ass movie critic to the point where I look for. I take movies for what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not. I'm not looking for Oscar winning Academy Award
Yeah.
performances. Just entertain me, man. Give me the action. Give me some believability in some of the characters, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need you to give me Martin Scorsese type of scores and that. Like it's a Marvel movie. Relax. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like some of these people, man, they go into Marvel movies. Oh, the cinematography and shut up. Just watch the movie. So I I'm excited to go see it, man.
All right, yeah. When are you planning on going to see it? You gonna go see it this weekend,
I
next week?
might see if my son want to go see it in the next few days, or maybe I'll just go on Monday and go see it.
Okay, cool. Sure, we'll have a great review. I think I'm gonna try. If I don't go this week, I'll probably go next week to try it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But if you see it this week, maybe you could do a review on Monday
Mhm.
or Wednesday.
Mhm.
Next up, Marvel Rivals. We all know big game came out. It's been doing really really successful. Some unfortunate news happened earlier this week that a lot of the Seattle-based design team was let go of their jobs. Obviously with I think they're adding new characters in this week. Some of the Fantastic Four characters, I believe, like Human Torch, is supposed to get added this week and stuff like that. Going into a new season, what are your thoughts with these layoffs? Are you surprised with the layoffs due to the success of the game? I know there's been a lot of layoffs with a lot of video game programmers and designers and stuff like that. So what are your thoughts?
It's just sad, man. You know what I'm saying? Them men and women put all that good hard work in to make a successful game and then get laid off. Like, damn, man, that's crazy. And it's successful. It's not because it was a flop.
Yeah,
It's just, I guess budget cuts or whatever. I don't know. But shout out to those men and women. Hopefully they get a job somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just think it's sad. It's messed up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Obviously with the turmoil going on in video game industries, as far as like
Mhm.
a lot of people losing their jobs. A lot of these companies are kind of going into this whole like we're trying to downsize to still create more of a flexibility with these games. Obviously these games are getting more and more expensive. Obviously we've heard
Yeah.
some of the astronomical numbers that GTA 6 is going up to, we're talking about billions of dollars that this game is going to be, costing them to make. Obviously, Rockstar is probably not worried about that because that game is probably going to make about like $4 billion, maybe even five.
They probably gonna sell the regular version. Probably gonna be 150, dog.
Yeah, no, there have been rumors about potentially video games maybe getting a little bit more expensive. I mean, the number that's kind of been floating around is about $100 for base games. I think that's insane. I
That
think it
is.
just depends on the game. Like a GTA 6, I would understand that with just how much it cost them to make
Mm-hmm.
this game. And then
Yeah.
obviously it'll be worth it because we've seen GTA 5, it's been still popping for what, 7 years now. You know what I mean? I think
Mm-hmm.
we're going on maybe even 8 years since GTA, since this game is probably going to come out, probably even be longer because we don't probably expect to see this game. You don't expect to see this game until probably next year. I know there's, or even at all. But Take Two, they're still stating that this game is going to come out this fall. So we'll see. We still haven't seen any like trailers or anything like that. Maybe when Summer Game Fest comes, maybe they'll announce it then. Um,
I'm gonna hold my breath.
yeah. But do I think like a 2K or a Madden deserves to be 100? No, I don't think so. Most of those games are just kind of like roster updates. They might upgrade the graphics just a little bit, you know what I mean? But I don't think those games. I think it's a game by game basis. I think, you know what I mean? I think people would understand GTA 6 being 100, but not other games. But we'll see. Prayers out to everybody who lost their jobs. Hopefully you guys are able to bounce back. You know what I mean? So shout y'all out. Next up, Marvel TV exec Brad Winderbaum says Marvel is exploring the idea of bringing the Defenders characters to the MCU. Says I can't say much, but I'll tell you that it's so exciting to be able to play in that sandbox. Do you think this would be a great idea? What are your thoughts on this?
Who are the defenders again?
Um, have you seen the show? I think it's on like Disney Plus or something like that. I think they have like a show or something like that.
And that Daredevil and them.
I think so. Yeah. That's them. Yeah,
Daredevil and Luke Cage and all that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like the Luke Cage show. Season 1 was dope. Season 2 was okay. But
Yeah.
um Daredevil, I'm excited for the new season of
New
that.
season. Yeah.
That's gonna be fire. Because that show was dope.
Yeah.
Jessica, what's her name?
I forgot. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
She was okay. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was Iron Fist was in, whatever. But yeah, I mean, if they make another one, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say not to make it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. If you want to bring them in the DCU, that's fine.
Yeah. All right, next up, coming off of the Super Bowl with Kendrick Lamar, people are already speculating who the next artist is going to be for next year's Super Bowl in San Francisco. Some people have brought out maybe Drake. Some people said maybe Drake. Some people think Taylor Swift. Some people think they might go the more pop route, more country music route, try to slowly get away from the hip hop thing due to everything that's been going on. Or maybe even possibly, some people thought the Lil Wayne SNL show was really good, so maybe he might deserve it again. I don't know why, but who do you think we'll see if you had to put your bet money on it? Who do you think will be the new Super Bowl halftime show for next year?
Get ready for Mason Waller, man. All I'm saying, or Jelly Roll, one of them.
Or Morgan Wallen? You mean Morgan Wallen?
Whatever, same difference. One of them.
I agree with you. I think I said it after the Super Bowl. I was like, don't be surprised if it's gonna be country music artists galore. At least while Trump is in office, I would not be surprised. But just keep that in mind. Next up, Will Smith was on XQC's stream. I think it was yesterday or sometime today. And he announced that Hancock 2 is in the works and may potentially star Michael B. Jordan and Zendaya. What are your thoughts with that news that Will Smith dropped?
I mean, it is what it is. I like Hancock 1. So I'm interested to see what Michael B. Jordan and Zendaya, what their roles are. Maybe that they are younger. Is they going to be playing a younger version of Will Smith?
I would assume. Maybe his son. I don't know.
We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested. See what they do with it.
Did you like the first one?
I love the first one.
You like the first one? I'm surprised you're not more excited about it. You just like kind of whatever. Huh?
I mean, I'm not sitting up here like writing it down. Like, yeah, Hancock 2, man. Can't wait.
Okay. Hey, we'll see. We'll see what's up. We'll see what happens when we get more closer to it.
I'm more excited for what's the Will Smith movie where he talking to the mannequins and shit.
Oh, I Am Legend.
Yeah, I'm more excited for I Am Legend 2.
When does that come out? Does that come out this year?
I don't know, but they supposed to be working on it.
Yeah, we'll see. No, I'm excited for that. I'll be excited for Hancock 2. Hancock 2 was cool. Next up, Juicy J has announced a collab album with Project Pat coming soon. What are your thoughts with that? What's your expectations with that?
I'm excited, man. You know what I'm saying? I wish the whole crew would get together and do an album. I wouldn't mind another 3-6 Mafia album, and then you add like a Glorilla, Duke Deuce. You know what I'm saying? Put those Memphis artists on there and make it crack. You know what I'm saying? I think we deserve another 3-6 Mafia. But I'm excited for this album too. You know what I'm saying? I know the production is gonna be fire because Juicy J and is an underrated producer. And I think him and Project Pat, they already got that chemistry, so you ain't gotta worry about that. So
okay, that's what's up. Next up, Doechii, she had an interview, and she says the denial of rap being intellectual is rooted in racism. Quote here, she says, old school hip hop is vulnerability. I'm gravitating towards the pure skill that was incorporated. Anyone who doesn't think that hip hop is an intellectual genre, I think that assumption is rooted in racism. What is your thoughts with her comments on that?
That hip hop is rooted in intellectual.
No, so her statement is that a lot of people assume that hip hop is not an intellectual genre. That people who think like that it's rooted in racism because they view hip hop as, obviously, the stigmas of hip hop, you know what I mean? Like we see it through even our kind of like industry where you have people who like, oh, hip hop is too ghetto. Hip hop is too ignorant. Hip hop brings out violence. Hip hop brings out, people that we don't want to be involved in our business, stuff like that. Even though we see fights with country music, we see fights with EDC, drugs and violence and sex with EDC. Rock and roll was not familiar to violence, drugs, and sex and all that. So hip hop is not the only genre of that, but for some reason rap is always the main symbol for ignorance in music. So she states that it's based off of racism. If you have that kind of thought process,
Um, I can see where she's coming from with that because when hip hop, just the music, let's just say, because hip hop is not just hip, it's just rap, it's not just the music, it's a whole culture with graffiti and breakdancing and all that stuff. But let's just keep it with the music. They thought it was a fad. They thought it was going to be here today and gone tomorrow like disco. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand that it came from disco. You know what I'm saying? They took the disco break beats and rapped, or not even really rapped over it. It was more so about the DJ, and the MC would just get on there and say some stuff. And that's how it started. You know what I'm saying? And then the MCs just started getting more intellectual. You know what I'm saying? The bars got better. It started, then they started really, because, everything was and hip hop was based off of battling. You know what I'm saying? That my crew is better than your crew. I can rock the crowd better than you. Not so much throwing shots, but just, I can move the crowd better. But then it became like, oh, I'm better than you. You trash, like da da da. And then it just got more intellectual, and people started. And then NWA came in and was just like, we gonna rap about what we see in the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we gonna report to you what's going on. And then, Rakim started doing the same stuff. I'm gonna report to you what's going on in the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So it just got more intellectual. Now, I would say LL Cool J and all those brothers who, figured out a kind of a system of, when we do girl records, we could sell records like R&B artists. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? That's the beautiful thing about, hip hop music, is that there's so many sectors in hip hop. You got your ignorant stuff, you got your intellectual stuff with the most depths and the Talib qualities. If you want more of the, we just talked about 3-6 Mafia and those
West
brothers
Coast,
like that.
South, East,
And then you got the West Coast with Dre and Snoop and all them. They was talking about what they talking about. And then you had Nas and Jay and Biggie and, you had Tupac, you know what I'm saying? So you had so many different styles and genres and different subject matters that I think hip hop is just a good gumbo pot of everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, no disrespect to country music, but country music to me is just blues.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like old country music. Now the new pop country music is a little bit more upbeat, and they talk about different stuff. But country music was based off of like blues, like my dog died, my mama died type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Other genres, they kind of have, they rock and roll was, their way of turning up. You know what I'm saying? And then it went into different, grunge and heavy metal and all that stuff. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Alternative was going more of a poppy type, rock and roll style. So I think hip hop is just a big gumbo pot of everything, man. So as far as it being, I could see it being dealt because it was the white executives that were like, this ain't gonna last. This rap shit is stupid. Like this shit ain't gonna be forever. It's gonna be here today, gone tomorrow. And it just the artists got smarter and smarter, and the bars got more intellectual, and we started hearing some incredible stuff. You know what I'm saying? Imagine him Nas for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And just being like, where'd this brother come from? Or Rakim, or uh, Method Man, or any of those brothers. You know what I'm saying? Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Just the different flows and skill. You know what I'm saying? That you got to do the right raps. Not everybody can rap. You know what I'm saying? Even though everybody now is so oversaturated and everybody does it, but it don't mean everybody's good at it. And we all know who's exceptional at it. You know what I'm saying? So I get where she's coming from on that.
No, I agree with you. I think hip hop is one of the greatest audiobooks of all time. You know what I mean? You get so many variations of stories from all across, people from different parts of the world. You know what I mean? The creativity, the poetry, the flavor, just of the you feel that through the music. You know what I mean? And obviously, like I'm not the most country, in-depth person.
No.
But I do agree with her that it does root from potentials of racism, you know what I mean? Because there's always a stigma on rap music and hip hop in its own, you know what I mean? Where, it's projected to be some violent music that, mistreats women, promotes violence, promotes drug use, promotes this and that. And yeah, we're not going to sit here and not deny that that's not a part of the music. Yeah, there are certain, but portions of our music that, when you really listen to it, you can't be really proud of it. But I think that's in the facet of all music that is being done, from rock and roll to R&B to country music, jazz, Latin, reggaeton, you know what I mean, Afrobeat, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's always a section port of that music where it can get a little bit of ignorance in it, you know what I mean, for sure. Obviously, that's kind of been like the, what people's problems have been with the music of today, you know what I mean, where it's, it's a little bit raunchy, you know what I mean, with, the Sexy Reds and the Ice Spice and stuff like that. And, we're kind of missing the soul of hip hop with just, the flows and the substance and stuff like that. And, I think we get it. I think we're starting to head towards that trend with the Doechis. We got Kendrick Lamar. We got all these cats being celebrated, all of TDE. I think TDE had probably one of their greatest years last year with everybody dropping from J-Rock. Absol's album was amazing. Schoolboy Q's album was critically acclaimed. And, some people think it was one of his best albums. Obviously, the whole Kendrick situation, excluding everything from Drake, you know what I mean? But even when you look at Drake, Drake brought substance to his music as well. He was able to be a little bit more poppy with it, you know what I mean, while still keeping some hip hop substance to it. So, we got shout out with Drake with that. He's a big proponent to hip hop in its own. We had some of the greatest, writers and lyricism cats in the world, from DMX to Jay-Z to Andre 3000, the Big Boy, the Ludacris, Jeezy, Mace, Cameron, Snoop, Tupac, to the new guys like, Larry June, Dom Kennedy, ASAP Rocky, I mean, the list could go. L.A. Russell. I think L.A. Russell is one of the newer cats that's popping in L.A. Man, I love him right now. He's doing amazing things. Shout out to him, for getting his spot at the NBA All-Star Weekend. You know what I mean? It's great. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it comes from misunderstanding cultures. You know what I mean? I think that's been one of the biggest problems in America, that, people don't want to understand other people's cultures. And, I get it. We're accustomed. We're scared of what we don't know. I think that's just the human nature in things. And, I think the more when people just start understanding other people's cultures, I think we can appreciate country music or rock or hip hop and jazz and, Latino music or whatever the case may be, because we can all learn something from each other, man. Segregation is just so stupid to me. You know what I mean? Like we're all one human being, but not to get too like that. But I agree with her, man. I disagree, but that could be a conversation more. I think we can always get deeper with that. You know what I mean? I think that'll be a dope conversation. A couple more. Next up. Maverick CEO Rick Welts finally spoke out about the Luka trade. Says he probably underestimated the reaction of the Luka AD trade. What are your thoughts? If you're a Mavs fan and you heard this from your CEO that he underestimated the response.
Sell the team. That's what I'm gonna tell him. Sell it. Get back to Mark Cuban, man.
Like, you gotta be fucking tone deaf if you didn't think Luka getting traded would send.
Give it back to Mark Cuban, because he would never.
Man, it's insane, bro. Man, it's looking worse and worse by the week as the weeks go, because the Mavericks keep just talking and it's just not looking good. Next up, it's official. We will see Delaware State head coach Deshaun Jackson face Norfolk State head coach Michael Vick November 1st, 2025 at Delaware State. Man, what's your thoughts going into this matchup? And how do you think both of these gentlemen will do their first year as head coaches of their perspective?
I don't honestly. I don't know. It's not like it's not like Dion. Dion had a high school background. He was known for coaching in high school, and then he went to Jackson State and then went to Colorado. Even Eddie George had a little track record. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, Michael Vick, he's dabbled in the intern coaching type thing. So I think, I have a little bit more uh, what would I say? More confidence in Michael Vick. It's going to be interesting to see what Deshaun Jackson does. See how he operates as a head coach. You know what I'm saying? How he talks to these kids. I know he's he knows the lingo, so he knows how to probably get to the kids or whatever. But it's one thing to do that and be a coach. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he has the X's and O's. I don't know if he's more of a motivating and he has the right coaching staff. I would have to look at his coaching staff. Same thing with Michael Vick. I would have to look at the coaching staff too. So, but I hope success for both brothers to where they can move up and go to other places like Dion did. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if Michael Vick can take Delaware State and get them a couple of Division 3 championships or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he very successful. Maybe he can be a head coach for Virginia Tech. If they're not doing too well, he can go back home to Virginia Tech and be the head coach over there. You know what I'm
That'll be a
saying?
dope
So,
story. That'll be a
yeah,
fire story.
same thing with even though Cal is doing pretty well, but maybe if Deshaun Jackson does good, he can go to Cal. You know what I'm saying, and be a head coach or somewhere else. You know what I'm saying, in the West Coast and be a head coach over there. So or OC or whatever. So I'm interested. I want to see what these brothers do, and I hope much success for both of them.
I totally agree with you with everything you said. Next up, obviously, we heard about the airplane that crash landed in Toronto, flipped around. Sure, people saw the video. Scary. Yo, I don't know what's going on with these airlines, man. They need to get that shit figured out. But in news to that, Delta has finally announced that they are offering $30,000 to passengers who were on the plane that flipped. Do you think that is enough money if you were that person that was on that plane? Do you think $30,000 would be enough, or would you try to get more?
I want more. I almost lost my life.
Yeah,
I want $1 million.
at least. I want at least five. I want at least five. Like my life, I'm traumatized for life, man. My back hurt, my neck and my back.
This ain't yeah. I would want at least around that if my car flipped over. So I definitely want a lot of money if the plane flipped over because I ain't got no control over the plane.
At least 5. At least 5 to 10. At least 5 to 10.
Yeah, you bugging. You bugging, Delta.
Pony up, B. Pony up.
You got it.
Yeah, you do got it. You're fine. You're fine. With all these baggage fees and shit. Yeah, you good. Next up, are you familiar with Bonnie Blue?
No.
So Bonnie Blue is this infamous OnlyFans model who decided to sleep with 1,000 men.
Oh, okay. I saw that.
Yes. So she slept with 1,057 men in under 24 hours. News now comes out that she is pregnant. How long do you think it's going to take her to find out who the lucky man is to be the father of Bonnie Blue's baby?
I have no idea, but I know my man Maury said I ain't getting him, but he said I'm not.
Hey, that's just gonna cost way too much money, my boy. That's just gonna cost way too much. How would you feel if you were the kid, you grew up and you found out, yeah, I'm one of the babies. I'm the baby that was conceived during my mama sleeping with 1,000 men in one day.
That's what's problem with this stuff, man. You got to think of your children, man, or your future kids when you do these OnlyFans stuff.
Yeah,
and you become famous. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to deal with the child. Got to suffer for that. Cause, I know your mama.
Nah, for real. For real, nah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how I would feel about that, but all right, couple more. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has decided to part ways with his agent, representation, and decided to be his own agent. So he's going to represent himself.
Okay.
How do you feel about athletes maybe starting to go more towards that route of representing themselves and not having an agent and just keeping the money all to themselves?
I mean, hey, more power to them. They can handle that type of thing, and they are able to go into the in there with those executives and those lawyers and negotiate a good deal and know what they're talking about, know all the percentages and the lingo. They try to hit you with a certain terminology and you don't understand it. You're gonna be in foreign lands. So If you could go in there and negotiate and you know what you're talking about, then hey, more power to you. I mean, in football, I know Richard Sherman. He was known for representing himself. I know Lamar Jackson. His mother represents him. So same thing with Jaden Daniels. So um, I'm not mad at that. If you know what you're doing and you can get the best deal for yourself and you ain't messing yourself over because you don't know what's going on, more power to you.
Yeah, and you better have some thick skin because when you start discussing numbers, man, those teams are going to tell you what they really think about you. So
Hmm.
I think that's the benefit of having an agent because you don't have to hear those conversations because a lot of stuff can get a little ugly, at times. You know what I mean? So you better have thick skin. You better know what you talk about. You got to know how to negotiate. But if you could do all three of those things, you're good to
If
go.
you
You're good to go.
understand that this at the end of the day, yes, you're playing a game that you love, but at the end of the day, with millions of dollars, billions of dollars really getting thrown around, it's a business at the end of the day.
It
And
is.
you and these owners, that's how they look at you as a business proposition.
Yep.
They look at you like just like that. You're not Jaden Daniels and not Lamar Jackson. You're number five.
Yeah. You have to bring in some type of revenue for them to even give a fuck about you. So, next up, after the Great White Hope Mac McClung slam dunk contest, we've been seeing a couple superstars coming out saying they might come out and do it next year. John Morant started it off saying, hey, this might make me come out and do the dunk contest. Levine, Aaron Gordon, they both recently commented on that quote, and they both seem kind of interested in going into it, maybe getting a Matt McGlunn, Aaron Gordon, Zach Levine, John Morant slam dunk contest. One, how likely percentage wise do you think we get this? And two, if this does happen, would that bring back the excitement to Saturday nights at All-Star Weekend? And what could it possibly do for cats like John Morant, who seen some of their take a hit after everything that's happened to him with the gun situation?
Now the percentage I give this a 10% chance of happening.
Okay.
But if it were to happen, it would definitely boost her up the weekend because, like we said before on Monday, the dunk contest was made off of the backs of superstars. No
Yep.
disrespect to the guys, the young guys who participate in these, but this was named off of big names. You know what I'm saying? The Dr. J's. You know what I'm saying? The Dominique Wilkins, Spud Webb. Those dudes were superstars.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was a superstar. He was and is held as the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe, Vince Carter, like those guys were superstars, man.
Yeah.
And they came in the dunk contest and shut it down and made a name for themselves when it came to the dunk contest or even the 3-point shootout. You know what I'm saying? It was all superstars. That's what we all celebrated. That's why we love the All Star Weekend because it was all stars really and superstars. That were performing, future Hall of Famers performing in these All Star games because they cared. They gave a damn. They wanted to put on a show for the fans, even the game. Yes, the first half they would do all the tricks, they would do all the alley oop dunks and all the stuff like that. Wouldn't play too much defense, but then the second half they'd be like, "All right, now we got to clamor down. We gonna play the real game now, and we gonna go in here and play and try to win this game."
Mm-hmm.
And all we just ask y'all is to care.
Yeah. That's
That's
true.
all we asking. We ain't
Yeah.
asking y'all to do nothing more than just care, man.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. All right. Last one. Um, we saw the great success that the women's game did with this 1v1 tournament. Um, so Rachel Nichols, Jimmy Butler's ex, decided to ask the All Stars what their opinion was about maybe potentially having a 1v1, especially everything that's coming off, what happened over All Star weekend. She talked to Giannis, she talked to Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Anthony Edwards, a couple more. And they all said they would be down for a 1v1 tournament. Do you think this should be the thing that replaces the All-Star game? What would your thoughts be of a 1v1 tournament for All-Star weekend?
That'd be dope. Need to be dope. Let's
Yeah,
do it. But we need the best of the best. I don't want to see Kyrie Irving against some dude that comes off the bench.
yeah,
I want to see Kyrie Irving facing Shea Gill
yeah,
or Anthony Edwards.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see Anthony Edwards versus Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see that. I want to see Wimbiana take on what's the dude from Orlando, Pablo Banquero.
Paulo Banquero.
Yes, I want to see
Yes.
that. Or Chet Holmgren. I want to see it.
Hmm.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I want to see those type of matchups. They would definitely bring a light back onto the NBA All Star Weekend if you do something like this. If you replace it with the game. Now, I don't think they want to do that. So maybe you replace one of those games, take away the skills competition or whatever, and do this.
Look, I'm gonna say this here, and I'm gonna say this here right now. The WNBA and the women's game is smoking the NBA right now.
Yeah.
And you know why they're smoking the NBA is because the players put their pride aside and they're not scared to go 1v1. Breonna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, these ladies are not scared to put their name on the line in a 1v1 tournament. Another thing why the WNBA is growing so fast is because the WNBA allows their players to have a personality. On the court, they allow them to have a fire. They love the fireness that we get with the Caitlin Clark situations and the Angel Reese and the Angel. Like, if you watch that game, they allow those girls to chirp. They allow those girls to bang. The NBA does not allow that. Again, I stated this before. Minus, the privileged attitude that a lot of these NBA players have because of the amount of money that they make. You see the hunger on the WNBA side. You don't see the hunger from the NBA cats because they just assume they expect it. And it's going to hurt them in the long run because they're kind of hurting their product. But at the end of the day, the NBA is the only league compared to NFL, hockey, baseball, well, they will literally throw out their superstar talent at the beginning of the game. Like, I think that is insanity to me. There is no reason, unless if it's like super egregious stuff. There is no reason. Like, even tonight when we saw Austin Reeves get thrown, I think that is stupid. I think that should be last resort. A lot of these referees need to control the referee situation because these referees and the NBA, I don't know why they pride themselves on throwing out their top tier talent when a lot of people pay a lot of money to watch these guys play. Like, imagine if you bought tickets to see Kansas City Chiefs and the NFL refs stole him out 2 minutes into the game. Like, you would be like, what are we doing? I don't care if he's arguing about a call. The refs need to have thicker skin. The NBA needs to get it under control. Like, there's no reason why you are throwing out LeBron James, Cade Cunningham, Austin Reeves, Victor Wembanyama, John Morant. Keep them in at all costs. That should be last resort. Now, if they're like throwing punches or something, all right, cool, we get it. That used to happen in back in the days in the 90s. But they weren't. David Stern knew what's up. We're not throwing these cats out. Like, they're the main reasons why we're making money. I think the NBA needs to get that under control. WNBA is smoking right now. I can't wait for the WNBA season because Caitlin Clark hating season is coming up. Aces are coming up. Like, I'm super excited about this. I'm really super excited about the WNBA season. It's going to be dope, especially with all the moves.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk a little Netflix, man.
Let's do it.
So Netflix is looking into either buying the rights from CBS or Fox for Sunday afternoon games, or maybe even both. Now, we all know CBS, they have all the AFC games, and Fox has all the NFC games. Chief Content Officer Bella Bajara of Netflix said that Netflix will want Sunday afternoon games that opened the door for a guessing game regarding which of the two packages the company would target, the AFC centric CBS or the NFC to Fox on Fox. And she said, why not both? So basically, they're trying to get either or under the YouTube TV package and put and put Sunday football games on Netflix. So, what do you think of this, sir?
Get ready for Netflix to be charging like $60 a month. that's coming. Like honestly, like they keep raising the prices, but in reality, minus that though, you could just tell Netflix is trying to be the number one space for just viewing. Period. You know what I mean? With their shows, they got WWE now. Let's say hypothetically they do get both AFC and NFC Sunday morning and afternoon games. I don't know if that would include the NBC if they were decide to get the NBC Sunday night game. I don't know what would be what's up with that. Netflix,
I just think it's Sunday afternoon right now.
yeah, then maybe they're just thinking about, let's just go after these two, and then potentially maybe we can just get the whole slate. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what they're truly aiming at for. And then obviously they'll probably want the Super Bowl playoffs, all that stuff too. It's just, at the end of the day, I think they want to be the number one new cable station, and they just have literally everything. You know what I mean? And then sooner or later, we'll be paying $120 a month for Netflix, and that's the case. I think that's their ultimate goal. They want to crush their competition. They want to crush Amazon. They want to crush, Paramount. They want to crush HBO Max. You know what I mean? They want to crush cable. They want to crush DirecTV, Cox. They want it all. You know what I mean? They want to be the one-stop shop when it comes to everything. And then if you could control the sports market, I think that helps out a lot. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people, including me, the only reason why I have like a YouTube TV or anything like that is to watch my sports. I really don't watch like other television shows like that. You know what I mean? So if you can get that would honestly get me to cancel everything else and just go strictly to Netflix. And honestly, I'm not gonna be mad at that because at least everything's there. You know what I mean? But I think that's just kind of where we're heading as these years go by.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these, because I could see CBS or Fox using this as a negotiation tactic too.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? To up the money on any, on the NFL and trying to, purchase these games or whatever. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they get one of them starting off, and then eventually maybe one of them the other one caves in, and they see how stuff is going over at Netflix, and they're like, oh, let's do a one stop shop for Sunday afternoon games. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be the 1:25, 3 o'clock games, or whatever. Um, so yeah. I could see one of them going over there at first, and then both of them eventually heading over there.
Which one do you see them going after the most?
Personally, I think they'll go after the AFC.
It's 100% AFC. You got all the quarterbacks over there.
Yeah.
You got all the quarterbacks over there. You got Patrick Mahomes,
Josh they want Mahomes. They want Josh
Burrow,
Allen.
Lamar Jackson.
They want Lamar Jackson.
Herbert.
They want those.
Possibly Shador Sanders. You know what I mean? Like Bo Nix. Like, you know what I mean? Like AFC pretty much has all the quarterbacks. So yeah.
They want the superstars on their network. So
yeah, and the go-to boy Tom Brady's at Fox. He just signed that contract for 10 years. They're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Nah, they're not. So yeah, I think it's the AFC. Which that means it'd be interesting to see if they do get the AFC. Will Tony Romo go over there? Will Kevin?
You don't want Tony Romo to go. Who should get it? It should be Greg Olsen. I think Greg Olsen deserves to have a headlining spot.
He should, but I could see them dishing out that money for Tony.
No, I think Greg Olsen would be. I think more people want Greg Olsen to have the spot. I think if you polled NFL fans, I think more people would probably say Greg Olsen than Tony Romo right now. I like Greg Olsen. I think Greg Olsen was amazing.
Oh, I love Greg Olsen. I don't understand when people say I can't stand Greg Olsen. I'm like, why? What did he do?
Well, I think people say that about everybody. People can't stand Gus Johnson. Yeah, he says some dumb things sometimes, but I like Gus Johnson. He's cool. You don't like Gus Johnson? You don't like the energy he gives?
Yeah.
Who's all right.
It's
who is your number one play-by-play announcer?
It's what's his name? Kevin
McHale?
That's not Kevin McHale. That's the basketball player.
The football one?
Yeah.
You a Chris Collinsworth type of guy?
He's always with Romo.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The lead guy. I forgot his name.
Hold on. I don't want to disrespect, dude. because he's one of the best in the business. Because he does basketball too,
I know who you're talking about.
and he's really good, like really good. Mm,
Or Jim
Jim
Nance.
Nance, Jim Nance. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, Jim Nance is one of them, but there's another one too. What's the other dude's name? Iron Eagle. Regardless, there's another guy that I like, but Jim Nance is up there too. Jim Nance is nice too.
For sure.
Um, I don't think who I. Yeah, probably Jim Nance is probably the best right now as far as football goes.
As far as football goes, as
The
far as
one
lead, I like Joe Buck. Joe Buck is cool. I like Joe Buck.
everybody don't like Joe Buck and Aikman.
I think that's the best tandem right now. That's the best
I
tandem.
don't have no problem with him.
That's the best tandem right now.
The
Joe
best
Buck.
is Manning Cass. Let's just call it what it is, man.
It's more like a late night show while watching
I'm
football.
just-
Like
I'm
it's
just
cool,
playing.
but
I'm just playing with you.
it's
Now.
all right. It's all
I fucks with Manning Cass though. Need a Kelsey Cass.
right. No, we do not.
That's what
No, we do not. We do not need that. That would be terrible.
Give me Kelsey Cass. Man.
Maybe hyping the motherfuckers up too much.
You don't like New Heights?
Huh?
You don't like New Heights?
It's all right, man. Like it's not like something that's like I need to go hear it. Like I'm okay. And it has nothing to do with him being a Kansas City Chief. Like they're cool. They seem like cool dudes and all that. But do I think they're like worth $100 million? No, I don't. I think they got that based off Taylor Swift and them supporting him. That's about it.
It's messed up. It's messed up.
I'm just reality. That's just me.
All right, man. What's up with this John Morant trade?
Oh, so there's been some chatter amongst execs that the Grizzlies could potentially be moving off of John Morant this offseason. Obviously, with the whole Luka trade, it's been, people have been kind of raising their eyebrows with everything that's been going on with, the new collective bargaining agreement with, second aprons and stuff like that. Obviously, John Morant has had a lot of off-field stuff. Obviously, this year he's been a lot better. Obviously, he's been going through a lot of injuries too. So it's just been I just want to ask you, what would be your thoughts on a John Morant trade? Do you think the Memphis Grizzlies should consider that? And if they do consider that, where would you potentially like to see John Morant go?
I mean, of course, you got to put John Morant in a big market. I don't know, man. Maybe the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Knicks.
Nah, you got Jalen Brunson. You don't really need him.
Maybe you do a swap. Sixers.
Got Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
I know the perfect team that he should go to. They desperately need the point guard.
Houston.
No. That's kind of, well, I would say John Morant is probably a little bit better than Jalen Green, but Jalen Green is good and he stays healthy a little bit better, so that could be a wash. I think the best position for him to go to is the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic.
I was thinking about that.
Him. Like I think that's what they're really missing. You put him with Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. I think that's amazing. You know what I mean? I think. If I'm the Grizzlies, I personally wouldn't trade John Morant. I think that would be kind of idiotic. I think he represents the city well. Obviously, some of the mishaps he had.
Where's he from?
Ja? I don't know where Ja is from.
Is he from the South?
He's not from Memphis, I don't think. But
no, I don't think he's from Memphis. But
I don't know where Ja is from. I wouldn't move him. I think the combination between him and Jared Jackson is really nice. Unless if you're going to trade him for like another superstar talent, like let's say if there's
South Carolina.
He's from South Carolina. Unless if you want to do a situation where maybe you want to trade like a Trae Young or maybe like a LaMelo Ball or something like that. If you're gonna get somebody back like him back, or if you got like cap space, you create cap space, and one of those players, maybe like a Tyrese Maxey who may want to leave Philly. Because of the whole situation there, he may get tired of that. That may be a possibility. Maybe a Devin Booker, if he gets tired with the Phoenix situation, you probably look at that. There are options. Obviously, Shea isn't going anywhere, the OKC or anything like that. But there might be some young talent that you might want to consider. But would I do it? Nah. I think Memphis has been playing really good. I think they're missing like kind of like a wing guy, a great two-way wing guy who can score the ball. I said that's why I thought Jimmy Butler would be perfect for the Grizzlies. If they could find somebody like that, maybe they could potentially trade for Kevin Durant this offseason. I know I think a lot of people are leaning on the side that he will get traded this offseason, especially how everything played out before the trade deadline. Imagine if the Memphis Grizzlies get Kevin Durant. I think that would be an amazing fit. I think there's going to be a lot of suitors for Kevin Durant, so I think they should look more that way. I think trading Ja Morant wouldn't be smart.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't understand that either. He's a superstar for you, regardless of the off the court stuff.
I think Memphis might really actually shoot the FedEx forums. They're gonna have to have 24/7 security out there, bro. That should be crazy.
All right, man, let's do our NFL offseason outlook. We're doing the AFC North. We're going to finish it up with the Bengals and the Browns.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start off with the Browns. Now, we all know that Myles Garrett has made it clear that he wants out of Cleveland. He wants to be traded, so that'll be interesting to see what they do with him. And the whole Deshaun Watson thing, the dark cloud still reigns over them. He probably won't play 2025 because of his Achilles injury, and he re-injured himself in 2025. So he probably won't play this year or next season. So they'll probably be looking for a quarterback. I'm hearing possibly them bringing in Kirk Cousins because he is familiar with Stefanski's system. He was his OC with the Vikings. So they have already a rapport with each other. He will keep them stable. And he'll be a year removed from that Achilles injury. I know he's going to be older, but he will be a year removed from that Achilles injury. So I think he'll be probably a little bit better than what he was with Atlanta. And they're just going to, and they got to give Cleveland something to cheer for, man. It's just, they got talent over there. It's just, they gotta first they gotta get the quarterback situation figured out, whether it be Kirk Cousins, whether they go with a young guy or whatever. Maybe they go with Kirk Cousins and then still get a young guy, which they'll put Kirk Cousins back in the same position he was.
Yeah.
But at least you don't draft him in the first round, you get him in the second round or third round or whatever, which it'll take the pressure off of that a little bit more. But they got to get some identity, and because I don't know how long Kevin Stefanski can maintain this and keep his job. This might be his last year with Cleveland. They might part ways after this. He might not want to deal with this no more. And they got to figure out what they're going to do with what is Deshaun Watson's future with this team? Is this it? You know what I'm saying? Does he try to make a comeback in 2026? Because it has been nothing but a dark cloud. It's been miserable. It's been misery since he's been on the team. And it was funny. Even though he was throwing mad picks, you just saw more life in Cleveland. Jameis Winston was the quarterback. So if you get a veteran like a Kirk Cousins coming in there, he'll possibly bring some new life in there. They'll make them respectable. I'm not sitting there saying that they're going to be playoff contenders or if they're going to be, especially losing Myles Garrett now. They have a chance to draft Abdul Carter, but that doesn't necessarily mean Abdul Carter is going to step in and be Myles Garrett. So they're going to have to figure some things out. I still think that they're the worst team possibly. Maybe the Steelers are maybe worse than them, but I trust Mike Tomlin to get the best out of his roster more than what they're going to do in Cleveland. So by default, you probably have to say Cleveland is the worst in this division. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Nah, yeah, man. Obviously, I think the biggest thing going into all season, I think, is obviously the Myles Garrett situation. They gotta find a way to make him happy, or figure out what they're gonna do as far as like a package that they would accept for a trade. I think that's one of the big ones. I think with the whole thing with Deshaun Watson, I think they just accepted that they're gonna have to be stuck with him for the next at least 2 years with that cap hit, that dead cap hit. Obviously, with the Achilles injury, it just is what it is at this point. It could be it could be a good thing for them, I guess, in a sense, because now they could potentially it might be harder for them to, I guess, pay for a quarterback because obviously they have so much money tied up to him. But with Kirk Cousins going in, I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, why are you guys going after another quarterback with another Achilles problem?" But at least Kirk Cousins has a good head in his shoulders. He did not perform well at all this past year. Obviously, he was still kind of mentally getting over the hurdle of the Achilles injury. You could tell he wasn't really playing with his back foot. Maybe he just wasn't fully healthy with it. So maybe he was just trying to be really, really careful with it. But obviously, you got to see how he is with that cold weather, how that affects his Achilles and stuff like that. Um, they got to figure out the running back situation. I think a lot of their running backs are in free agency. Nick Chubb, Deontay Foreman, stuff like that. I think they still have Ford. I think he's still on the bed. He's a good running back. He's a really good running back. He helped me in my fantasy. So, but they're obviously going to need at least backup help on that. They're going to need help on that offensive line situation. Obviously they got to. I think they need a little bit more talent on that wide receiving core. I know. They missed a couple guys on there. Obviously trading Amari Cooper away to the Bills.
Jerry
So
Judy had
had a good year, but I still think they can upgrade that position, or at least have him be number two. Maybe potentially draft for a number one or something like that. It should be an interesting offseason, especially with all the money tied up with Deshaun Watson and how they're going to kind of finagle that and what positions they're going to really focus on, especially in the draft. I think the draft is going to be very, very huge for them. But obviously they do need to get a quarterback. If they can get a Kirk Cousins or something like that, I think that would help out. At least, bring some maturity back into that quarterback room. I think that would help out, especially with Stefanski. I think he really needs that. But again, I think it's going to be tough for them. You know what I mean? Like, I know I don't have really a lot of promise with the Steelers either. I said it before that they could potentially be the worst team in this division, but it's going to be between these two teams. And I feel bad for the Browns team as far as their fans, man. You know what I mean? Like, they had a lot of hope going in these last couple of years. Like, some of the teams, like, this team was really, really talented. Like, they could have been one of the more talented teams going into this past season. But, obviously the Deshaun Watson trade really sold them out. And it's really going to put them in the back burner for at least another 4 or 5 years. So,
yeah, I agree. Then you got the Cincinnati Bengals. They have a lot of decisions to make. They got to pay Jamar Chase. He's probably going to be the highest paid wide receiver, making up to 42, 43 million a year. I know his ex teammate from LSU, Justin Jefferson, is the highest paid right now. So he's going to be shooting to make more than Justin Jefferson. T. Higgins, it'll be interesting. I know they claim they're going to franchise tag him. I don't know if they're doing that so they can possibly get something for him or work out some type of deal. I know Joe Burrows has expressed that he wants to keep both and he will be willing to restructure his contract to make it happen. But this team needs to figure out what they're going to do on defense. They fire Lou, what's his name, Lou Amaral, and I forgot who's the new defensive coordinator. I forgot, but the new defensive coordinator, he's going to have to bring some talent over here. I know Jermaine Pratt talked about he wants to leave, he wants to get traded, so they're probably going to have to go through the draft or get a linebacker in free agency, possibly. They're going to have to figure out their secondary is very bad, and they got to figure out what they're going to do with Trey Hendrickson. You know what I'm saying? Are they going to extend him, or are they going to trade him? He could be a trade candidate himself. So,
yeah.
And they could possibly just try to go younger at defense, you know what I'm saying, and get some young talent over there. But they got to figure something, especially on the defensive side. Offensively, if they let T go or trade T Higgins, they can possibly get another wide. They can get another wide receiver. They can get a tight end, a wide receiver in this draft. I could possibly see them drafting what's his name, Warren from Penn State. and then getting a receiver in the third or fourth round or whatever. They got to figure out how they can get Jermaine Burton to act right because it was
Yeah.
not a good situation with him. It was several games where he was left uh, back at home on road games or whatever are inactive, not because of health, because he was just acting up. And that was the knock on him coming out of Alabama, was that he was a little bit of a head case. He was talented, but he couldn't showcase that talent because his quarterback couldn't get him the ball in Jalen Milroe. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, especially on defense. They're going to have to, and it's not going to happen all in one off season, but they need to just at least get to being respectable on defense, opportunistic. You know what I'm saying? Take the ball away, get that offense more possessions, so they can win some of these games that they lost last year. They might have to figure out the kicking situation because McPherson didn't have a good season last year. He lost them some games last year. So,
Yeah.
and he was money before that. So they're gonna have to figure that part out. If is he the guy? Is just say he had a bad season, whatever. But they're gonna have to make some big decisions next year.
Nah, I agree. Like, I just don't know how you justify paying both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase at the price that they're going to have, including with Joe Burrow's contract. You still got Henderson. You got a lot of holes on that offensive line, defense, from the defensive line all the way back to the corners and the safety. So I agree with you. I think they could be using this as possibly just a trade chip. You know what I mean? I think they're eventually gonna trade him. I could see maybe he seems like more of like a draft day trade to me. I think more possibly than that. And then, just go from there. But yeah, man. Obviously with Joe Burrow, obviously they got to figure out the whole situation on their slow starts. I don't know what it is in their offseason programming and all that, but it's going to be a big year for their head coach. You know what I mean? Like,
He's definitely on the hot seat.
he's definitely on one of the hotter seats. They gotta have a fast start, man. They can't literally, have another season where they start off 0-4, 0-3, and then try to work their way back up, because it's tough. The AFC is it's a tough conference, man, with all these quarterbacks. So
If they do have a slow start, let's say they do 1-4 or whatever in the first 4 games, do you see them firing him?
I don't know. I don't remember the last time our coach has been fired that soon in the season. First 2 months, I would have to remember that. But it'll just be a situation where I think if that were to be the case, that I think it'll just be a possible situation where he could lose the locker room in a sense, because it's like, all right, man, we're going through this all over again. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, let's say they do decide to keep T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and they pay Henderson, but yet they get some lower tier guys in free agency. They don't really hit in the draft. You know what I mean? So they're pretty much back in the same situation that they were in last year, where we could score all these points, but yet we're giving up 40, 45. Like, our offense has to be damn near perfect for us to even have a chance to win. Yeah. I just don't think that's how you succeed. So if they start off 1-4, I think it'll just be the inevitable that he will get fired. I don't know if they would fire him at that soon, but then again, it is the Cincinnati Bengals. It is this ownership. Again, I couldn't be surprised, because I could honestly see them doing something like that as well.
For sure. All right, good people. That does it for our AFC North. On Mondays, we will probably do NFC North on Wednesday. So, all right, man. You got anything else?
Nah, man. I think we hit it all, man. You know what I mean? I know it's been a late night. I know people East Coast are struggling, Midwest is struggling. Hell, us in the West Coast, we're struggling. You know what I mean? It's been a long day work-wise, but, man, I think we hit everything, man, going into the weekend.
For sure, man. Well, maybe we drink a little bit of Magnet sports drink. We'll have a little bit more energy.
Yeah, man. Magnet sports drink, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue with working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that will keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement, whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. Again, Cris and Mal is the promo code. Use that. Save $5, man. Get a drink, get some energy, man. Help your week out.
Yeah, definitely, man. Get you some Magnet Sports drink for sure, for sure. And if you go to any of our social media platforms, you see the Printify link to our shirts, Cris Style Mal t-shirts with the tap in on the back. We got the black, we got the white, we got the hoodies, but we're gonna start getting warm soon. So get them while you can. The shirts are 25, the hoodies are $50. So go ahead and copy one. And there's some more merchandise that's coming soon. Whatever. If you want to donate to the Cris Style Mal Podcast, you can donate to our Cash App, Cris Style Mal Podcast. Whatever you want to donate, we will greatly appreciate. So yeah, man, show some love.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use to listen to your podcast, Cris Style Mal is available. Also, first time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the lives. You can talk about these topics like Stan was tonight. We want to hear from you. We want to get your opinion. Even if you agree with us, we want to hear from you. And all you guys that are listening on the playback, leave a comment in the comment section. We want to hear your opinion. So subscribe to the channel and join the Cris Style Mal family.
Please do.
And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, whatever you use to do your social media on, Cris Style Mal is available at Cris Style Mal. We will follow you back because we are just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. So go ahead and follow us if you have critiques or feedback, or if you have a question or a topic that we like. You can send it to us via DM, email, or our mentions. We will bring it up on the show. We will shout you out on the show because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and follow us and hit us up, man. All right, good people. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Get y'all some good sleep. Get ready for Thursday. Me and Mal have to be at work tomorrow, so we got to get us some good rest. But until then, hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Some good sports going on this week. We got boxing coming on this week, some good basketball. So go ahead and tap in. We got a good hockey game coming on tomorrow too. The championship for U.S. and Canada. Go USA. But yeah, tap in with us, man, on Monday when we bring up all the stuff that happens over the weekend, man. Until then,